Well, it's about 5 minutes past, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Please add yourself to the attendee list. Apparently, some of us are now Broadcom employees. I have to remember that. Gonna move you in level. Okay, cool. So we've got our note taker. I don't see any new faces. So let's go ahead and look at the outstanding RFCs from the bottom, from the oldest first. So this decoupled dependencies is in draft. I'm not going to talk about that. The folks who are involved in it, I think, are aware that, there's some work to do there. So we're just going to go ahead and close that one. Multi-arch build packs, also drafted. Didn't realize that was drafted. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about draft RFC, so we can skip over that one. Next up, we have this Oracle Graal VM, and I just wanted to scan to the end because I think, yeah, it looks like Dan Makusa approved it, so I think we're just waiting on other Java maintainers.
Yeah, so right. So unfortunately, still the same thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, thanks. So yeah, still the same thing. Waiting for legal. So we've met with Chris Clark from the Cloud Foundry Foundation. He's basically our link to legals at the Linux Foundation, and we have submitted to them reasons why we believe the Oracle license is fine for the new GraalVM packaging. And it's been a month that they're just asking us to wait. So I cannot hide my frustration anymore. This has been going on for 2 months. Uh, I I don't know what they're doing. So I I will see on VMware side if we can put pressure on Cloud Foundry somehow, because Paketo belongs to them, but they don't. I don't know. I don't know. This is very frustrating. So uh, yeah, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
Anyways, yep.
Sorry to hear that. And
Mm,
yeah, hopefully you all can find a way to get that unblocked soon.
yes.
Next up, we have standardizing dependency metadata format. This one's been around a few weeks as well. We got a lot of comments on this, but not too much in the last couple of weeks, although apparently Forest has been working on this. So given there's been some changes in the last few weeks and Forest is not here, I'm proposing kind of skipping over this unless anyone has anything they explicitly want to talk about. Okay. Which brings us to the RFC to discourage use of old Bionic builders. And it sounds like we have a plan to just close out this RFC as a sort of like a won't fix, because we've written a blog post describing our brownout. I think we had the Bionic builder brownout today, maybe it was, excuse me. And I think that sort of supersedes this RFC.
I think it was yesterday, Bob.
Yesterday, today, recently.
I think it was yesterday. There weren't many reactions, and I think it was a bit late to really touch any working hours in Europe. But let's see. I think if I understood Daniel correctly, then Spring actually updated even for the older Spring version. So maybe many use cases of, or many occurrences of the Bionic builder actually vanish anyway.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know about Spring. I thought that you needed to use the latest Spring Boot 3.2 to actually have the latest builder. Do you have a reference to that, Jan?
No, nothing really to link to. Like on the steering channel, Daniel said that the Spring team updated all of the versions to Jammy. They were originally, or so Daniel would be my source.
Okay, super.
I
Cool.
have the
Yeah.
link for it.
Okay. Okay, this is great news actually. Thank you. I missed that.
Cool. So, yeah, not to put you on the spotlight, but as a steering committee member, are you happy and good to kind of close this RFC out?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. That takes us to the end of our outstanding RFCs. Next up on the agenda, any updates from the upstream CMB project? Nope. All right. Any updates from our project? Anything anyone wants to mention? Share with the community? Okay. And finally, the floor is open for any topics that don't fit into the existing agenda structure.
I just thought of a project update a little late. I don't know if we ever presented this, but .NET Core 8 support has been rolled out in the .NET Core language family. So feel free to try that out. And shout out to Forrest for the work that he did to do that.
Awesome. It's exciting. It's great that we can ship, support for a new, like pretty substantial version of a language so soon after it was released upstream. Because it was released like 2 weeks ago, right? Upstream by Microsoft.
Yeah, that's nice. And have you seen, I don't know where I saw that, but somebody was asking a build pack for the R language.
Yeah, there was a conversation last week. Let me scroll
Yeah.
down. Yeah, our build pack discussion.
I wonder if many people use R, or if the R community would be interested in using build packs.
Yeah, that's we have a discussion here. We should leave
Okay,
this
great.
open definitely to
Yes.
capture any, future feedback.
Yep.
I've seen some asks for it as well in Slack. I just searched the Slack channel. Not too many though, but
Mhm.
it's good to see more
Yeah.
interest.
In the Cloud Foundry world, we have an R build pack, and it does get used. People do use it because there's occasionally issues open, but I don't think it gets the same level of traffic as many of the major language families. So I think personally, I don't even know what we call it, as a maintainer of the thing that includes R, I would personally prefer to hold off and I want to wait for there to be more feedback before kind of like committing to supporting another build pack. I think Dan Makusa's suggestion down here of suggesting people try their hand at building their own, I think is a great way to get started. But I recognize there's a little bit of a barrier to entry there. So, if we get people commenting on this issue, we can evaluate the idea of making it a sort of supported first class build pack.
Yep.
All right. Any other? Go ahead, Jan.
No, just for the last thing, I added links to the chat that show that Spring actually changed this even for 2.7. So all supported Spring versions apparently are now pointing to Jammy builders.
Yeah, thank you. This is perfect.
Okay. Any other questions, discussions, conversation topics? Then I think that concludes our meeting for this week. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.